welcome back to my channel. How are you all doing? I hope you're having a lovely weekend. Meant to be a hot one today, isn't it? I need to rest on my saddle. I'm so tired. I say this every Sunday, I know, but I'm physically and mentally absolutely pooped. And I've got another busy week coming up, and I'm very grateful that it's busy. It's, I really am grateful, but I wouldn't mind a holiday. I wouldn't mind a few days off, just to catch up, or a bit of extra sleep. I would have appreciated that this morning. Sienna, who's currently doing what sounds like a waterfall of a pee. Sienna started digging quite early this morning, which wasn't needed because I went to bed quite late last night. So didn't appreciate that this morning. Madam's a bit cross about the food situation again. So they had been eating gorgeous sugary haylage, which Sienna obviously devoured. And now they're back on hay. It's not gone down too well. It's not gone down well at all. It's perfectly nice hay. It's not that dusty. She's just kicking up a fuss because she liked the sugary haylage more. But anyway, tough. She has to, she's big enough and fat enough that if she doesn't eat all her hay at night, then that's perfectly fine. Anyway, busy old day yesterday, and it wasn't helped by Sienna obliterating all the fencing in the field. And she now has a fat leg. She has a teeny weeny cut, like really teeny weeny cut, but the leg is pretty fat. So I don't know if she kicked herself in the process or it's down to the cut. I'm going to put some silver spray on it in a minute. But yeah, for a teeny weeny cut, it's a pretty fat leg. So I'm not going to ride her today. I am going to turn her out in the field and hope she doesn't gallop around. And fingers crossed she doesn't go through the fencing again. I realise the reason she did it is because Choc left yesterday morning. And even though she didn't seem bothered when I turned her out and they went off to the bottom of the field where all the new grass is, she must have later in the day come up looking for him, couldn't find him, and just decided she was going to, steamroll through the fence. She's a big girl. Quite easy to take it out. She broke 5 fence posts in the process, broke the tape. And when it's just like all across the field, so full well it must have got caught and they've dragged in. So last thing I wanted, because yesterday I was at our local country show. It's been going on for something like 128 years. It is the most gorgeous event. I love it. I absolutely love it. I love the tradition of it. It pulls in lots of people and there's so much going on there. Like there's a horse show, dog show, fun fair, trade stands, there are like displays, there's classic tractors, classic cars. They do the best fancy dress pony competition. Like it's spectacular. And I'm sure I've forgotten stuff. There's like a duck race on the river. Oh, I have forgotten my favourite bit. I don't know what you call it, but like horticultural classes and agricultural classes. So people enter their produce as well that they've grown. It's like the most amazing beans and tomatoes and squashes and... Oh, do you know, I'm so tired I can't remember everything. But like literally anything you can grow, it is judged in the tent. There's people making amazing cakes and crafting most beautiful things. Like there was a rabbit that someone had crafted out of little cuts of fabric. It was stunning. Like everyone was just staring at it in the tent. Also, the tent is like packed. Everyone excited to see who's been awarded first, second and third. Just wonderful. But it was a busy day. I was helping lots of clients in the classes. I take photos for the show because every year I like to upload them onto the Facebook page. So we've got a little album for each year so we can look back over them. Sienna, please stop rubbing your tail. Please. Actually, it might be Coop. Someone's rubbing. Let me see. It was Coop who was rubbing, not Sienna. She wasn't impressed that I shouted at her. So I've got now something like 400 photos to upload, to edit and upload onto the Facebook page, and everyone loves tagging themselves in them and things like that, so it's really special, but it's just a lot of work. And I also run the social media pages for the show, so it's been a busy few weeks into the run-up to it, and there's always a few questions to be answered after the show and things like that, but that's nearly done. So yeah, it's just been a really busy few weeks, and yeah, like I say, now I'm slightly worried about Sienna's leg, but these animals, they like to keep us on our toes. Oh, thank you everyone for all your comments on the last Sunday vlog when I mentioned about Eve, my dog, being really poorly. She actually did decline. After I took her to the vet, she got slightly worse, but thank God I did take her to the vets when I did and got the antibiotics on board, because probably about 2 days later she started to improve again. I think the antibiotics make her feel a bit funky as well, because she acts quite weird when she's poorly. Anyway, once she had finished the antibiotics, she was so much better and she sort of came back to life as such and was back to normality. So I think the fact that we went to the vets as soon as we did was definitely the right decision, because we kind of got on top of it nice and quickly before it escalated, which we would have definitely done. So yeah, The joy of our animals, hey? Always like to keep us on our toes. It's getting toasty out here. It's just muggy. Rather than being like blue skies, sunshine, it's just muggy. It feels like we're in a greenhouse, which is lovely. So I'm going to get mine in and get the fans on, and Sienna can have a good snooze because I think the fly is annoying her out there. Anyway, this next clip is 2 jumping exercises I did with Chalk about a week ago now. And they're just really simple, very basic, but I think they can really help improve your horse's canter, the rhythm to the jump, the technique over the fence. So if you've got a horse that likes to rush, this would be really helpful. If you've got a horse perhaps that tends to wobble a little bit on their line to the jump, or you just want to improve their technique over the fence, I think this should work wonders for them. It's one of those staple exercises that you should always have at hand and do every so often. My first exercise is all about using as many poles as you've got to a fence. I love doing this because I think it really improves the quality of your horse's canter. It helps get a good stride to a fence. It improves the rhythm. And if you raise the poles, you tend to get more spring and more jump out of your horse's canter, which then improves their technique over the fence. I just wanted to show how great Chucky is, that you can even move a fence while still sat on him. He's such a champ. But this is such a simple exercise, and I think it suits whether you're on a novice horse or an advanced horse. Particularly good if you've got a horse that tends to rush a little bit at his fences, and you can jump it both ways. So it's obviously easier if you do the poles first to the fence, and slightly trickier if you do the jump and then the poles, but it's a great way to improve your horse's canter on landing. You can see here Chucky went a bit disunited. My second exercise is sort of bounce, jump, bounce. Again, good way to sharpen your horse up over the fence. Sometimes it's good to trot into it first of all, because they don't always read this little exercise quite right the first time, but just a great tool for sharpening them up and improving their jump. Got a bit of thunder and lightning going on overhead at the moment, which I love. I love the sound of it, especially at bedtime. It helps me go to sleep. But I don't really like leaving the horses up. It's going on all over the place. Shh, Evie. It's actually in 2 places by the sounds of it. Not the most flattering of angles. But this is where Sienna had the teeny weeny little cut, and when she's out in the field the swelling goes down, so that's good. However, I have noticed she's got a little bit of a bump. You can't see it on the camera, but a little bit of a bump there, and I think she might have a little splint coming up. I mean, I'm not completely surprised because she gallops up that field or thunders up the field quite often, daily, I would say, and it's hard out there, so it's no surprise that she's got a little splint coming. But yeah, she's got nothing on the other leg, but she has just got a little bit of a bump at the top, and so I think that's what that might be. And the cut looks really clean and good, so that's nice. So I think they kind of both came up around the same time, so no wonder she had a bit of a fat leg. But the good thing is the swelling is all down and the cut looks very healthy indeed. And yes, you got a little splint going. She's like, I'm having a snooze. Hello. You might have to stop thundering up the field. It's not doing your legs any good. I've tucked myself under this rather large oak tree to try and get out of the wind because it's really picked up this afternoon. I mean, it's lovely, it's really refreshing. I'm just watching the dog over there, and the temperature is definitely dropping, which is nice. Trying to decide whether to go for a hack or not though. I don't know with Sienna's leg. I mean, I think it's a splint. I could be wrong, it could be just a bang to the leg, but I think it's a splint. It's in the right place for one. It feels like one. She's not sensitive to it, she's not lame with it, and she's obviously walking around the field all day, so you know, would a hack make any difference if I kept it to a walk? But as the splint is so small, I would like to try and get it down so that it kind of slightly vanishes. Not always possible, but cold boot, cold hosing, trying all that. So yeah, I just don't know whether to ride her or not really. I know some people would be like, just crack on, don't worry about it, and then others would be like, oh, you know, give them a few weeks of rest. So I'm a bit undecided on what to do. Anyway, I'm going to leave this vlog here. It's very short and sweet. I need to get back on planning ahead about my vlogs. I'm not doing very good at the moment because I keep sort of having to do it normally on the day, though this didn't obviously end up coming up on Sunday. Oh, got a bug on me. Yes, just need to be planning a bit better and thinking ahead. That would help. Anyway, guys, see you again soon.